Hey guys, welcome back to Latoski Family Farm. Got a bit of an emergency here in the bee yard today. Our two hives that we didn't see queens in, I came out the other day, checked on them, and we confirmed there definitely was no queens in those hives. So what we've done is we've ordered some queens. You can see there's a queen and some attendants in there. This side's gonna have a sugar block. We'll pull this cork on the end. We'll put them down in the hive, and then they'll eat through that sugar block and release. That gives the hive time to get used to the pheromones that are being put off by this queen, and by the time she releases, they'll be kind of acclimated to her. We will probably have to pull some brood out of one of these other hives and put in there to help them through, but we're going to bring you along today and kind of show you how we put a new queen in the hive. Try to get you set up so you can see halfway decent here. So at this point, this hive does have some brood in there, and so we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this queen cell in there. If there wasn't any in there, then we would take some from one of these other hives and put it in there. So all we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to put her down into the hive. And we're just going to sandwich her between two frames. Then we'll just go ahead and we'll take one hive right out for now. So we'll take this frame and we'll put that back in a couple days when we come and check. So we'll go ahead and we'll just put them back together for now. We'll come back in a couple of days. We'll make sure that queen's released. Get moved over here. Okay, so this hive does not have any brood in it, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into this hive here and see if we can grab them a frame of brood to help them along. Looks like we've had some ants here finding their way up to our sugar water. So we have quite a bit of brood on this frame, and so we'll move this frame over to help them out. So we'll take this brood frame, we'll put it right down in the center of this hive. We'll grab our queen here, we'll pull that cork out, we'll put her down in the center of the hive as well. Put a couple of our frames back in. And like I said, we'll take one frame out. We'll put that back in a couple days and we come make sure the queen's released. So we'll go ahead and put this hive back together. So one of our hive frames has lost its bottom piece here. So we'll just get that put back on real quick. All right, so we got our queens in. We'll be back in a few days. We'll check on them, make sure they've released. And once they've released, then we'll come back about a week later and we'll make sure they're in there still. There's one other thing we got to do while we're out here today, and that's the grass in our bee yard's getting pretty long. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get that mowed up. So we'll give you guys a little time lapse of us mowing that. Well, all right, guys, we got that all cleaned up. Looking a lot better. Hopefully it'll cut down on some of the ticks we've been getting out here. We'll bring you back in a couple of days. We'll see if those queens have made it out, and then we'll also transition all these hives over. We'll take the feeders off and we'll put supers on the top. So we'll see you guys in a couple days. All right, guys, it's been a few days and we're back out here. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna check and we're gonna make sure these queens released. So we'll get you moved over. We're also gonna we're gonna get these feeders off from here and we're gonna get their supers put on top. Alright, so our queen did release out of this hive. I'm going to give her a little room to lay in the center of this hive. So we're going to slide a few of these frames over. We'll take a nice empty frame and slide it down in here. We'll get these guys put back together. Then we'll go get a super to put on them. We got one frame here that keeps falling apart, so we're going to go ahead and just replace that. These new frames we're putting in, we went through and we painted them with beeswax just to help give them a little head start, and hopefully they'll adhere to the frames a little bit better. A lot of times they like to build off from the frames. We'll get our super put on here. We'll close them back up. Then we'll go over to this other hive and check and make sure this one's been let out. And she's been let out of that cage as well. So we'll do the same thing here. We'll give her a fresh frame right in the middle to start laying on. Make a little bit of room there. Grab a good frame and slide it on in. Definitely feels like these bees have been busy. There's definitely some weight to that upper box. So we'll go get another super. We'll put it on top of them as well. Take our inner cover, put that on, throw the top back on this. So we do have some drawn comb. We have enough for 4 of our hives here. So we're going to take our front 4 and we're going to put our supers with drawn comb on them. And then on the other 2 in the back that we haven't put our supers on yet, we'll do the same thing in the back that we did with these 2. And it'll just be supers with frames that have been painted with beeswax. And then we'll be able to compare and contrast as the season goes and see how long it takes them to build that comb up back there. But we'll get this stuff moved over to the truck and then we'll grab some supers. All we were looking for today was just to make sure that those queens were released from those cages. We'll come back in about a week and we'll make sure those hives are doing all right. We were planning on doing a hive inspection today on all these hives, but it's been kind of intermittent rain today, so we're just going to wait till next week and we'll do our hive inspection next week when we come out to check on the 2 hives that were queenless. But for today, we'll get all their supers put on and hopefully they'll start packing nectar up into there. All right, all of our hives have fresh new supers on them now. That should give them plenty of room to keep expanding the hive. So all we got left now is just to clean up all our stuff, load it in the truck, and head out of here. Like I said, we'll be back in about a week. And in a week, we'll come in, we'll do a full hive inspection on all 8 of these hives, and we'll bring you guys along for that. So I think that's all we're going to have for this video. We'll see you guys in the next one.